Welcome back. It's The Buzz, just in case you're just joining us. And of course, we have some of our members of panels today here with us. The rest will be joining us in the course of the show. Sitting very close to me, looking handsome as ever, is the freshest prince on the airwaves. He's a broadcaster, a very popular one at that, and he's also a performing artist, Teddy Don Mama. Hi, Teddy. Thanks for coming.
Let me do a relay.
All right.
That guy is funny. How are you? I would say.
Arole has like 42 teeth. You know,
mine is 32 plus 2. So
really?
mine is
Wow.
mine is
34. Okay. I'm not sure I have up to 32.
I'm trying to count mine.
You have 32, you remove some.
Yeah, some just found their way out.
Some are actually not functioning again.
Due to some sugar effect.
All right, and sitting close to Teddy, she is an actor and also a very popular model, Ify Nancy Uba, here with us. Hi, Ify.
Hi.
Hi.
It's Abby on the bus.
Yes.
The bus.
Do we have to say she's a tattoo lover too?
Oh, yeah.
She's covered in
Yeah, I think
tattoos.
we should add that, yeah.
Yes.
She's just, yes, I love my tattoos.
Okay, let's buzz your tattoo.
All right.
How many tattoos do you have?
That's too revealing. All right, guys, thanks for coming on the show. And today, yes, let's hit the social media and see what's trending. Of course, we have to start by way of Benue State. I mean, this is one killing too many, if you ask me. Now, the ongoing protests in Makurdi, Benue State, against the incessant killings of innocent people by Fulani herdsmen took a dangerous turn when reports broke online that the military fired on protesters, killing several people. Let's take a very short clip on that incident. When we come back, we'll start talking.
It is unacceptable, President Muhammadu Buhari. This is my brother that has been murdered. Fulani herdsmen by Fulani terrorists. President Muhammadu Buhari is sponsoring a genocide against a free nation. I want to call on the United
So that's the clip there. Well, it's a sad one, but
yes.
let the panelists have their say. Teddy, let's start with you.
Yeah, now after watching that, and of course, you know, we've actually been talking about this on radio, and you know, now seeing the clips. Now you see the people there. Just, I mean, normally when something happens, what you need to do is go out and then just air your you know, your grievance.
Your-
And of course,
yes.
yeah, and so that was what they actually came and they were doing. And
Yeah.
of course, now people that were supposed to actually protect
Protect
you,
them.
you know, like people that actually, like, this is their job to protect the country.
Exactly. Do we have to mention the fact that the protesters were not carrying any form of
Just-
weapons?
just
no
normal
arms?
placards like this
Yes,
is
just-
too much. Now,
Yeah.
Innocent protesters.
I mean,
It's just too sad.
since authorities don't want to do something, they decided that, okay, please, the world should hear about
Let's-
this.
Yes.
Oh man, and I mean, if you saw the pictures of those that were massacred,
Yeah, too gory.
butchered,
So we can use them on television. That's why we didn't.
it's just
bring
something
them.
that, you know, you want to cry, and so
Exactly.
they just wanted to air their grievance, and of course now the people that were supposed to protect them are now turning against them and are killing them. It is something that is just preposterous.
Yes.
I'm really angry. Actually, I'm really angry right now.
I have friends, close friends from Benue State, Agatu and Otupo, the towns or villages that are just by the river where they say the Fulani herdsmen coming from by night. And it's scary at times what they tell me, how it is, because it's in the middle of the night that the attacks actually happen. And it's so sad.
When you're fast asleep.
Asleep, they've tried to take it to the Senate, they have representatives there, but it's like it's all falling on deaf ears. And the youths, they've been trying to create forums to air their grievances, like what's just happening here.
Yeah.
And I don't just know what it would take to get the federal government to really step in fully
Into it.
full weight, yes.
Well, it's pretty sad that you get to see innocent citizens carrying out their own rights, because it's their own rights to probably just come out and still protest. Whatever, like what said is said, is actually their grievances, you know.
But now looking at it now, don't you think that higher authority is actually kind of silent about this?
Okay. All right.
And then if high authority is kind of silent on this, doesn't that
I guess we're
send
still
a
coming back
message?
to that. Well, we'll definitely
Let's
come
take a
back
break.
to that. We'll take a break, and the boss will be right back. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back. We had to take that quick break to allow our third member of panel to join us on the table, and he's right here. He's a guru in the music industry. Needs no introduction. Comoblastic. And for those who don't know, beyond music, he's also very, very into activism. You know, always fighting for the rights of people, for social justice, and
Equality
everything
and
around
justice.
that. Yes, yes. Thank you for coming on the show. All right, so before you got here, we were discussing the recent protest in Benue State over the killings allegedly by Fulani herdsmen, and also the military shooting the protesters and killing several of them. All right, if you were talking before we took that break, go ahead.
Yes, what I was saying is that the youths there, they've been trying to create forums to let whatever it is they're going through, you know, the killings, because they say at times the cattle as they are grazing, they eat up the crops.
Yes,
They are,
on their farms.
Yeah, the Benue people, especially Agatu, they are known for farming yams and different types of crops. But these cattle, they eat it up, and when they are like, asking, why did you allow the grazing to go on here? It
extend to our farms.
Yes, and so the killings go on, like I said earlier, in the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, even the vigilante, they are not, you know, aware, and it's really sad what's happening. And the Senate is like, it's all falling on deaf ears. So it's so sad. All
right, Como, I know you have something to say about...
Yeah, sure. The thing is, we're in a system that's not working anymore. You get me? I've seen Buhari in my lifetime twice. The first time I saw him, it was a war against indiscipline. You get me? There was a lot of problems going on. He's come back again, and we're in a recession. I mean, if you cannot provide security for your people, then I mean, there's nothing happening. That means everybody's on their own. What the government needs to do is to make sure that the three arms of government are working. If not, we're still going to be in that mess. A demonstration of craze. Yeah.
Oh, another thing again, you know, if you know, Benue State is known as the food basket of Nigeria.
That's true.
And then there's something that is, I really don't know. I think there's an undertone on this cattle people, this Fulani herdsmen. Now, because I'm telling you, Kaduna, there was only the particular time they went to Edo State. Remember, the cows actually drove kids out of the class, and now we have killings in, you know, in Benue. Now, can you imagine? Benue State is known as the food basket. It is very, very bad for cattle to go and be eating the food. So at the end of the day, the crops.
And
so no matter what, I am supposed to like. I'm supposed to shout.
Exactly, because even though
those
you
people
don't
who are
live in
shouting,
Benue,
they are supposed to
you
shout.
are
And
going to be affected.
They are shouting, and then you're not killing them. And then the authority is not talking.
You've made a very, very sensitive point of where I was going, the direction I was going to. It's like, you know, when you have a controlled system, very sensitive, the food basket of the nation. Now, why should we be having crisis in the food basket of the nation? So that means there's some set of people that want to have control over the masses.
The food supply to the
Exactly,
masses.
because if you cut off, if there's problem going on in the food supply of a nation, then that means we in Lagos will not be able to get yam no more. You get me? Then we'll start importing yam from Togo. I mean, it's crazy.
And funny enough, it's actually spreading to the western states because recently, I guess yesterday or so, Ondo State was actually affected with the Fulani herdsmen. What's now the way forward? Because is it like these guys actually untouchable?
Are they above the law?
Because we've actually heard that, okay, don't even eat cow meat. Let's not patronize it. You understand? So what's now the way forward?
Yeah.
The way forward is for the youth to come out. I remember when I was in university.
Come out and then
get
shot.
Hold on, you see, it happened in America. Sometimes a nation needs the spill of blood for it to move forward. I remember during the military regime, we were students, and we stood in front of the military telling them we don't want you.
But who wants to die?
That is the ultimate sacrifice still. Because you know, this situation should get the international people, the international audience to come in.
Involved.
And once they get involved, then we start taking people to the world court, if possible.
But I think there's enough blood on the ground now in
Already.
Nigeria. I mean,
And we really don't want it to spill.
But I just feel there should be legislation. And it's like there's a bit of a boldness about this cattle.
About the way they go about it.
But don't you think,
I think
don't
so
you
too.
think a lot of indigents in Benue State are actually tired